Yes, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the fourth revision lecture. And today we are going to discuss the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881. We are going to cover the entire act, and in the chart book, the act is covered in just 4 pages. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. I should say it is covered in 2 pages. Okay, 4 sides, just 2 pages, and the entire act is covered. Very good evening, Srishti, Ananya. Good evening. Hi, Kirtana. Good evening. Rohit, hi. Where were you yesterday? Okay, welcome, guys. Welcome. Let us begin with today's session. I plan to cover the entire Negotiable Instruments Act. Hi, Prathamesh. Hi, Satvik. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. So let us begin our discussion of the Indian Contract Act, the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881. We just covered the Contract Act in the last lecture. We finished all the 3 units of the Contract Act. Today, let us discuss the Negotiable Instruments Act. Guys, I hope you are preparing well for the exam. Just under 2 months, I think, not even 2 months, just 1.5 months for exam. Prepare your own timetable. That is what I always tell students. Don't listen to what others are doing. You know, when I used to go to the library, I would sit in a place facing the wall and I couldn't see anyone because दूसरों को लेके बहुत टेंशन आती है. So it is better that you stick to your timetable. एक आध बार जाओ just to feel motivated and to get good ideas. Otherwise तो नहीं. Good evening, Nishkam. Welcome. Good evening. चलो, तो डिजाइन योर ओन टाइम टेबल, डिजाइन योर ओन स्टडी स्पेस. जितना आप अपने आप को जानते हो उतना दूसरा नहीं जानता है. हम तो सिर्फ सजेशन दे सकते हैं कि ऐसा पढ़ लो, वैसा कर लो. करना तो आखिर में आपको ही है. ठीक है, चलो, लेट अस डिस्कस द नेगोशिएबल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स एक्ट. नाउ, नेगोशिएबल इंस्ट्रूमेंट क्या होता है? द वर्ड नेगोशिएबल मीन्स ट्रांसफरेबल बाय डिलीवरी. And the word instrument, it means a document carrying certain rights and duties. Since a very long time, cash has always been the preferred medium of payment. लेकिन जैसे जैसे business बढ़ता गया, it went global, it crossed the national boundaries. It was not possible, and the volume also increased. It was not possible to use cash as the only medium of payment. So this gave rise to supplementary use, that is use of other instruments, and those instruments are known as negotiable instruments. So these instruments actually supplement the use of cash. They are used instead of cash. There are many negotiable instruments, like you have the delivery orders, government promissory notes, hundis, bills of exchange, promissory note, check. But our Negotiable Instrument Act, it covers only 3 negotiable instruments, that is promissory note, bill of exchange, and check. Section 4, section 5, and section 6. So what about the other negotiable instruments? They are covered by the Special Trade, Customs, and Local Usages. The Negotiable Instruments Act does not apply to them. They are covered by the trade customs. Now, what are these special customs and local usages? Normally, क्या होता है कि there is a practice which one starts, like, you know, I perform Diwali Puja in a particular manner. So my kids learn from me, their kids learn, and then everybody feels that it is an accepted practice. Others from my community also see me doing that. They also start following it. So it becomes as if it is a custom that in our society or family or in my caste, this is how we do things. So customs are generally practices which were followed by a few people, but then when others started copying it, they started adopting it, it became a custom. So customs which are used in the business, they are known as trade customs. They are also known as local usages. These are general practices. These are unwritten rules. Negotiable instrument में तो सब writing में है, but these are unwritten rules, but they are followed in the business since many years. So to those other negotiable instruments, we apply those trade customs. Actually, there's no definition of negotiable instrument, but the scope, or you can say the preamble, it covers 3 negotiable instruments. So that is why the act applies only to these 3 negotiable instruments: promissory note, bill of exchange, and check. These are few important terms which I have highlighted for you because we are going to use these terms in the entire act. Payable to order. Can someone tell me what is the meaning of the word order? Yes, let's do a question answer session. Can you tell me what is the meaning of the word order? What is order? The word order means an authorized person. Okay, the word order means authorized person. Instrument is payable either to the payee or anyone authorized by the payee. It is an instruction that the money should be paid to that person, only specific person. And how is he specified? Suppose I take the example of a check. Now X made a check payable to Y. Okay, it means that it is an instruction that the money should be paid to Y only. So money should be paid to Y. But Y can negotiate this instrument by writing on the back of it, pay Z or order. It is an instruction that money should be paid to Z or anyone authorized by Z. So over here, if I cancel out the word bearer, it automatically becomes an order instrument. How does it become an order instrument? It means please don't pay the money to the bearer, please don't pay the money to the holder, pay it either to payee or anyone authorized by the payee. If I draw 2 parallel lines, it means I am crossing the check. It is an instruction that money should be paid only into the account of the authorized person. So order means authorized or specific person. What is the meaning of the word holder? Now, holder means money should be paid to anyone who holds the instrument, but that's a very general way of analyzing it. Holder has 3 characteristics and you need to memorize those characteristics. The first characteristic is that the person should be entitled. This is very important for small questions. Students, 1 or 2 mark questions are generally asked on who is a holder and who is holder in due course, identify whether this person is a holder or is a holder in due course. It is a small question, 1 or 2 mark question, but it is very frequently asked in the exam. So we feel that itna easy hai, kahan aayega exam mein, lekin yahi aata hai fir. So what are the 3 characteristics that you need to remember? The first is that the person is entitled. It means he is entitled. It means he has the right to receive the benefit of that instrument. The instrument should be in his own name and he must be in the possession of the instrument. He must have the possession. It must be with him. So what are the 3 characteristics? The first is that he must have the entitlement. He must have the right. Then the instrument must be in his name and he must have the possession of the instrument. Instrument must be with him. We should deliver the instrument to him. Note that negotiation is complete upon delivery. Now, just writing a check is not sufficient. I need to give it to the other person. Only then he can use it just like money and transfer the possession to the third party. And then it keeps on circulating till the date of maturity. So possession is very important. I must have the possession. I must have delivery. Acha, bearer means anyone who holds the instrument. It is payable to the holder of the instrument. It may or may not be in his name. But uske paas hai, he is the holder. He is entitled to the benefit of the instrument. So bearer means person who holds the instrument. It is not necessary that the instrument must be in his name. He is entitled to get the benefits of that instrument. जैसे bearer check होता है. So you just go and give the check and you will get money across the counter. बहुत risky type of instrument है bearer. Bearer के words क्या हैं? Bearer के words हैं pay on demand or presentment. On word is important. It means whenever that instrument is presented, whenever the person demands money, you have to pay it to him. There's no maturity. There is no authorization required. Anyone who brings the instrument will get the benefit of the instrument. Holder in due course, very important. Can you highlight the 3 characteristics of a holder in due course? I'll hide this, okay? You answer. What are the characteristics of a holder in due course? What are the 3 things that you need to check in a holder in due course? Holder in due course. Yes, can you tell me? Yes, he must have taken the instrument for consideration, for value. Okay, consideration is required. Then what else? What are the other characteristics? He must have taken the instrument in good faith without knowing that the title of transferor is defective, and he must have obtained the instrument before maturity. Okay, he must have obtained the instrument before maturity. Yes, very good. He is a holder. He must have obtained the instrument in good faith for value before maturity. So if these three characteristics are present, like good faith, for valuable consideration, before maturity, then he will be considered as a holder in due course. What is the benefit? What is the privilege given to a holder in due course? Tell me. What is the privilege of a holder in due course? How does it matter if I am a holder or a holder in due course? How does it matter? Prathamesh, time frame word is not used. Before maturity, that is the word which we are looking out for. Yes. How does it matter whether a person is holder or a holder in due course? What are the privilege? What benefit will a holder in due course get? He just gets a good title? No, Satvik, that's incomplete answer. Yes, Kirthana. Even if title of the transferor is defective, transferee will get a good title. So even if title of the transferor is defective, transferee will get a good title. Yes, this is the benefit of a holder in due course. Okay, now in case of promissory note, I don't think I need to discuss that because it is really very simple. Promissory note is not a currency note, okay? It should be in writing. This is the characteristic, because oral promissory note is not valid. It may be a contract, but it is not a promissory note. How will you negotiate an oral promise? It should contain an unconditional undertaking. Instrument is payable at all events. If I include condition that I will pay if A marries B, such conditions may hold good between the maker and the payee, but you can't negotiate with those conditions, no? Holder may not accept those conditions. It must be signed by the maker because signature shows authentication. Otherwise, it will be an incomplete instrument. It is signed by the maker. It means there are two parties, maker and payee. Maker is the person who makes the instrument. He is the dator. To pay a certain sum of money, amount must be certain, and it must be to pay money and money only, either to the order of a person or to the bearer of the instrument. अरे ये नहीं आना चाहिए था. You can no longer have a bearer promissory note, because bearer promissory note is just like money. It's like currency. You and I can't print more currency. तो इसमें से हमारे लिए सबसे ज्यादा important यही part है. Promissory note excludes currency note. Have you ever seen what is written on the currency note? I promise to pay the bearer. This is written on the currency note. I promise to pay the bearer. This is written on the currency note. And if I write similar wordings on my promissory note, it is as if I'm issuing currency note. Now imagine one day Mr. Mukesh Ambani tore a piece of paper and on that he wrote, I promise to pay the bearer rupees 50,000. Congratulations. We have just invented a note of 50,000 rupees. This is just like money, no? So you and I can't print more currency note that is available, that authority is given only to the RBI or the central government. So you can't write such words, I promise to pay the bearer. So after section 31 of the RBI Act, okay, after section 31 of RBI Act 1934, this part of the definition has actually become redundant. You cannot have a promissory note payable to bearer because that is similar to currency note. You cannot have a bill of exchange payable to bearer on demand. I will pay whenever you demand. Not possible. If you want to issue a bearer promissory note, you should always specify the time, that is 3 months after date or 3 months after sight, I promise to pay the bearer of this instrument. If you want to make a bearer bill of exchange, time is important. You have to mention the time. These two words, I promise to pay the bearer on demand. These two words cannot be used together because this is also similar to currency note. Okay. Except check. Yeah, check is a bill of exchange, but it is always payable on demand. We will discuss that later. Other provisions are very simple, students. Here I don't think I need to discuss anything further. That was the most important provision. Bills of exchange. Yes, bills of exchange definition will include the characteristics of a bill. It is an instrument in writing. See, writing is a characteristic of a negotiable instrument. You cannot negotiate an oral promise, so every negotiable instrument has to be in writing. It is an unconditional, not request, but an order. 3 months after date, pay. 2 months after date, pay. You are ordering, but it should be in a polite language. It's an unconditional order because instrument is payable at all events. You can't impose conditions. I will pay if I have enough money. I will pay if A marries B. See, these conditions may hold good between the parties, but they cannot hold good for the holder in due course or any other person. It should be signed by the maker. It should not be the maker. It should be the drawer. I think they've just copied pasted and the definition of promissory note. So it should be signed by the drawer hona chahiye tha. Directing a certain person, it means the person, that is drawer and drawee, must be certain. To pay a certain sum of money, it means amount must be certain and it must be to pay money and money only. You can't give anything in kind. I promise to pay 5,000 rupees and balance I will pay, I will give a horse. That's not a valid promissory note. How will you negotiate a horse? And the amount must be certain. I promise to pay 5,000 or 7,000. That's not a promissory note and it's not a valid bill of exchange. If the amount is not certain, आप कौन से amount का negotiation करोगे? So amount has to be certain if you want to negotiate the instrument. It must be to pay the order of a certain person or to the bearer of the instrument. See, you cannot have bearer promissory note payable on demand. If I am paying to the bearer, then I have to mention the time also. 3 months. See, it will be money, but for only those 3 months or 2 months. Na? So to encourage further negotiability, okay, to encourage further negotiability, we are allowing bearer instrument provided you mention the time also. So it should be it should be signed, parties must be certain, amount must be certain, and it must be to pay money only, not in kind. Then let us discuss something about acceptance. What is the most frequently asked question in acceptance? Qualified acceptance. Yes, can you tell me, there are two types of acceptance, general and qualified. What is the meaning of general acceptance? I am hiding this so that you don't see the answer. What is the meaning of general acceptance and what is the meaning of qualified acceptance? Can you tell me? What is general acceptance? General acceptance means the parties have accepted the instrument as it is without making any changes or variation. This kind of acceptance is valid. Okay, drawee accepts without any condition, qualification, variation. This acceptance is valid. Okay, it is valid. Qualified means I am making it subject to certain qualification, variations, as far as the time is concerned, the place is concerned. Now instrument was payable 2 months after date, मैंने कर दिया 3 months after date. Instrument was payable in Mumbai, मैंने कर दिया instrument is payable in Navi Mumbai. Instrument was payable after date, मैंने after side कर दिया. Now I cannot see, qualified acceptance is not valid. Now let's say for example that A drew a bill on B and B accepted the bill. So A is the drawer and B is the drawee. A negotiated the instrument even before maturity. That is possible. He negotiated to C, C to D, D to E. Now E presented the instrument. Now instrument was payable at Mumbai, but B said, I will consider as if instrument is payable at Navi Mumbai. over here E should have refused. E should have said, "Arey, nahi, it is payable at Mumbai. Why you're changing it?" Acha, the instrument was for 10,000. He accepted for 9,000 only. E should have argued, "Arey, why are you accepting for 9,000? Nahi chalega, nahi chalega." He should have dishonored the instrument due to non-acceptance. लेकिन E क्या करता है? अरे यार चल ना, मुंबई ने तो नवी मुंबई, चल उधर ही पे कर दे. He accepts the variation. He accepts the qualification. Then in that case, E has accepted without consulting A, C and D ना. तो जो अपना consent नहीं देता है वो discharge हो गया. So here A, C and D will be discharged. But if he obtains their consent and then he accepts that variation, then A, C and D will be liable. So in short, law says that ideally you should have objected, holder should have objected कि नहीं चलेगा ये, then the instrument is dishonored by non-acceptance. लेकिन अगर वो accept कर लेता है, then it will be binding only the holder and the prior parties who give their consent. जो consent नहीं देता है वो liable नहीं होगा. Is it clear? Okay. Then we have the definition of check. Very interesting. Check is a bill of exchange. It means all the essential characteristics of a bill are present. So check is a bill of exchange. That is the first characteristic. So all the characteristics of bill are present. It is drawn upon a specified banker. Now please note, in case of check, banker is always the drawee. ठीक है, drawee हमेशा banker रहेगा. And drawer कौन होता है? Drawer debtor है. And payee is the person who is entitled, मतलब creditor. Drawer and payee can be the same. कौन से टाइप का चेक है वो? If drawer and payee they are the same. If drawer and payee are the same, तो ये कौन से टाइप का चेक हुआ? Yes, it is a self check. It's a self check. Self check में drawer and payee they are one and the same. ठीक है, self check में. Otherwise वो अलग हो सकते हैं. Yes, self check. Very good, कीर्तना. तो it is drawn upon a specified banker. It is always payable on demand. सुनो मेरी बात. Check is the only instrument which is always payable on demand. अरे आप जब बैंक के पास जाते हो and you ask them to pay the money, can they say 4 दिन के बाद आना? There is no grace period. Banker has to pay whenever you demand. And जब तक आप डिमांड नहीं करोगे आपके अकाउंट में पैसे नहीं आएंगे. I gave you a check, आपने 2 महीने अपने ड्रॉवर में ही रखा, आपके पास पैसे आएंगे क्या ऑटोमेटिकली? नहीं. You will get the money only when you demand it from the bank. And as soon as you demand, bank cannot say 4 दिन के बाद आना. So check is the only instrument payable on demand, and check can be bearer also. तो check is the only instrument which is allowed to be paid to the bearer on demand. बाकी instruments में bearer on demand word आ ही नहीं सकता. इधर bearer on demand word साथ में आ सकता है. Because check की तो validity 3 months की है ना, तो money होगा only for 3 months ना, इसी चलता है. It includes an electronic image of a truncated check, and it also includes check in the electronic form. These are different types of check. Now, what is the meaning of truncation? पहले क्या होता था? Physically check जाता था to the clearing house. Now we only send an image. तो वो image के basis पे the clearing happens fast. तो now there is no physical movement of check. वो electronically check जाता है. CTS लिखा होगा देखो आपके check पे, ऐसे CTS, check truncation system. अच्छा, इट इंक्लूड्स चेक इन द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फॉर्म. दीज आर ई चेक्स. जैसे ICICI बैंक है, ओके, एग्जाम्पल ICICI बैंक ई चेक्स देता है आपको. अब सोचो ना, फिजिकली मैं चेक लिखूं, देन आई गिव इट टू द पेई, तो देयर इज अ टाइम इन्वॉल्व ना. और क्या होता है, हम भूल जाते हैं, डिलेज होता है. इधर क्या है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली चेक बनाया, डिजिटल सिग्नेचर लगा दिया, चेक मैंने सेंड कर दिया. अब वो जाने उसको चेक किधर डिपॉजिट करना है, कैसे, एवरीथिंग इज इलेक्ट्रॉनिक. तो मैं ICICI बैंक मेरे को एक पोर्टल देगा, वहाँ पे जाना है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली मुझे चेक फिल करना है, डिजिटल सिग्नेचर अटैच करना है. उधर मैं लिखूंगी कौन से अकाउंट से जाने वाला है, किसको जाने वाला है, ऑल द डिटेल्स विल बी मेंशन्ड एंड एवरीथिंग इज इलेक्ट्रॉनिक. साइन भी इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली होता है. तो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक चेक्स, ई चेक्स, दे आर ऑल्सो नोन एज, दे आर ऑल्सो इंक्लूडेड इन द डेफिनेशन ऑफ चेक. एक्ट अप्लाइज. अच्छा, तो ये हो गया अपना, ओके. अदर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या होते हैं? इट शुड बी इन राइटिंग, साइंड बाय द ड्रॉवर, इट इज ऑलवेज पेएबल ऑन डिमांड. ओके. Types of check may we have bearer check, order check, cross check, you know that. General and special crossing. Okay, general and special crossing. What is the meaning of special crossing? Batao, I'm hiding the answer. What is the meaning of special crossing? Batao, it is not asked in the exam. Crossing pe they may ask you a short note. What is the meaning of special crossing? उसका क्या implication है? मैंने अपने चेक में ऐसे लिख दिया, देना बैंक, दिस इज अ स्पेशल क्रॉसिंग. इसका क्या implication है? What if I write the name of a bank between those two parallel lines? What does it imply? Yes, very good, Satvik. It means that the money can be collected only through a specified banker. मतलब I can collect the money only through देना बैंक. मतलब मेरा अकाउंट देना बैंक में होगा तभी मेरे को पैसे मिलेंगे, अदरवाइज मेरे को पैसे नहीं मिलेंगे. तो मैं क्या करूं? I will have to first open an account in देना बैंक, only then I will be able to collect it. Yeah, it can be written either in or outside the lines, that is perfectly fine. लेकिन I can collect the money only through the specified or particular banker. नॉट नेगोशिएबल क्रॉसिंग इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर शॉर्ट नोट. ठीक है, इस पे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. नॉट नेगोशिएबल क्रॉसिंग मतलब बिटवीन टू पैरेलल लाइंस आई राइट द वर्ड नॉट नेगोशिएबल. डज इट मीन दैट द इंस्ट्रूमेंट इज नॉट नेगोशिएबल? नहीं नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. इंस्ट्रूमेंट इज नेगोशिएबल, बट यू वोंट गेट द बेनिफिट ऑफ होल्डर इन ड्यू कोर्स. इट मीन्स in case of a not negotiable crossing, holder in due course does not apply. If the title of the transferor is defective, title of transferee will also be defective. ये मीनिंग है नॉट नेगोशिएबल क्रॉसिंग का. जो इनकम टैक्स से चेक आता है, आपका इनकम टैक्स रिफंड आ गया, उसमें मैंने देखा है नॉट नेगोशिएबल क्रॉसिंग आता है. नॉट नेगोशिएबल क्रॉसिंग मतलब कि अगर चेक गलत हाथों में पहुंच गया तो डजंट मीन वो होल्डर इन ड्यू कोर्स बन के बेनिफिट ले लेगा. जिसके नाम पे वो चेक है, जैसे पे और उस पे मिस्टर XYZ ऐसा नाम लिखा हुआ है, ओके, या मिस्टर एक्स का नाम लिखा है, इट मीन्स द मनी विल बी गिवन टू एक्स ओनली एंड नो अदर पर्सन. अगर हाँ वो नेगोशिएट करेगा चलेगा, ही कैन नेगोशिएट इट फर्दर, लेकिन अगर किसी नॉन ओनर के हाथ में पहुंच गया, ठीक है, नॉन ओनर, तो उसको टाइटल नहीं मिलेगा, वो पैसे नहीं रख सकता. मनी विल बी गिवन ओनली टू द ट्रू ओनर. तो ये एक ऐसा इंस्ट्रूमेंट है जो नेगोशिएट हो सकता है, बट इफ इट रीचेस इन द हैंड्स ऑफ अ नॉन ओनर, he will not become the holder in due course. He cannot give a good title to the other person. So if the title of the transferor is defective, title of transferee will also be defective. हाँ, उसी के बैंक में मतलब कि वो आगे नेगोशिएट कर सकता है, सात्विक, नेगोशिएट कर सकते हैं, लेकिन वो अगर नॉन ओनर के हाथ में पहुंच गया, जैसे थीफ, फाइंडर, देन वो लोग को होल्डर को वो होल्डर इन ड्यू कोर्स नहीं है, तो वो आगे भी होल्डर इन ड्यू कोर्स का टाइटल नहीं दे पाएगा. So as soon as it reaches the hands of a holder in due, as soon as it reaches in the hands of a non-owner, बस वहां से अपनी गाड़ी बंद हो जाएगी. So it does not restrict further transferability. Negotiate करना है करो, but if it reaches the if the title of the transferor is defective, title of the transferee will also become defective. तो ये केस में होल्डर इन ड्यू कोर्स का कॉन्सेप्ट आएगा ही नहीं, पर्सन सिर्फ होल्डर ही रहेगा. It takes away the main feature of negotiability. अच्छा, देन चेक से ही रिलेटेड है कि ये बाउंसिंग ऑफ चेक क्या होता है, व्हेन विल द बैंकर रिफ्यूज टू ऑनर द चेक. तो देखो, चेक में मेरे पास इनसफिशिएंट फंड्स है, आई एम प्रेजेंटिंग आफ्टर बैंकिंग आवर्स, स्टेल चेक है, अनडेटेड चेक, पोस्ट डेटेड. इन दीज केसेस द बैंकर विल रिफ्यूज टू ऑनर द चेक. हियर ही मे रिफ्यूज, ओके, ही मे रिफ्यूज, लाइक नोटिस ऑफ लॉस ऑफ चेक, चेक गुम गया तो वो सीधा स्टॉप पेमेंट कर देगा. पर्सन हैज बिकम इंसॉल्वेंट एंड द बैंकर कम्स टू नो अबाउट इट, ही विल नॉट ऑनर द चेक. सी पर्सन हैज डाइड एंड आई कम टू नो अबाउट इट एज अ बैंकर, सो उसके नाम के 4 चेक आ गए मेरे पास, आई विल नॉट ऑनर द चेक अनलेस आई रिसीव सम इंस्ट्रक्शन, सो बैंकर विल नॉट ऑनर. कस्टमर सिग्नेचर इज not tallying with the specimen signature. This is the most common reason for dishonor of check. Material alteration not authenticated by the customer signature. मैंने वहां पर 100 की स्पेलिंग रॉन्ग लिखी थी, 100 लिख दिया, तो अब अगर मैं ऑल्टर करती हूं तो आई हैव टू साइन इट, ऐसे मुझे साइन करना पड़ेगा वहां पे. मैंने किया ही नहीं साइन, बैंकर विल नॉट ऑनर द चेक. आई रिसीव नोटिस ऑफ डेथ ऑफ द ड्रॉवर, आई विल नॉट ऑनर द चेक. सो इंसॉल्वेंसी, इंसेनिटी, डेथ, इन सबका नोटिस मिल जाता है, चेक विल नॉट बी ऑनर्ड. दैट इज दिस इज आस्क्ड एज अ शॉर्ट नोट. ठीक है, इस पे शॉर्ट नोट आते हैं. द सर्कमस्टांसेस वेयर द बैंकर विल नॉट ऑनर द चेक. हाँ, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है फॉर केस बेस्ड क्वेश्चन, सुपर डुपर इंपॉर्टेंट है विद द सेक्शन नंबर, सेक्शन 138. सेक्शन 138 is extremely important for exam students. Liability of the drawer on dishonor of check. Now, मैंने चेक इशू किया 5 लाख का, मेरे अकाउंट में सिर्फ 50,000 थे. आई हैड ओनली 50,000 एंड आई इशूड अ चेक ऑफ 5 लाख रुपीज. चेक गॉट डिसऑनर्ड. इट्स अ क्रिमिनल ऑफेंस. बट ऐसा नहीं है दैट यू विल ऑलवेज गो इन जेल. पहली बार हुआ है, स्मॉल वैल्यू का चेक है, सो आई मे बी सब्जेक्ट टू फाइन नॉट एक्सीडिंग ट्वाइस द अमाउंट ऑफ चेक. तो सपोज मेरे चेक का वैल्यू था 5,000 रुपीज, सो 2 टाइम्स मतलब 10,000 रुपीज का मुझे फाइन हो सकता है. दिस इज नॉट एक्सीडिंग मतलब मैक्सिमम. I can also be subject to imprisonment of up to 2 years, maximum 2 years. So the word or says that I may be subject to fine or imprisonment. Sometimes it can be both also, depends on the situation. तो कितना सब लिबर्टी दी हुई है देखो कोर्ट को, या तो फाइन से काम खत्म, और I may be subject to imprisonment, or maybe both. So it depends, okay? It depends on the frequency, the number of people affected by it, the value of the check, your intention, everything depends on that. Offenses are compoundable, मतलब फाइन देकर, डैमेजेस देकर आपका काम हो सकता है, जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको इम्प्रिजनमेंट ही हो. सो मेनी अ टाइम्स बैंक आपको फाइन लगा के छोड़ देता है, इवन फॉर स्टॉप पेमेंट या बाउंसिंग ऑफ चेक, वो फाइन लगा के छोड़ देगा अनलेस फ्रीक्वेंटली हो रहा है या आपका फ्रॉडुलेंट इंटेंशन था, तब आपको वो इम्प्रिजनमेंट करेगा. कॉग्निजेंस यार सुपर इंपॉर्टेंट है, इस पे तो केस बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस आएंगे, केस बेस्ड, but you need to memorize the theory because case based में you will have to write the theory ना. Now I'll explain with the help of example. Theory आप लोग पढ़ लेना, example से you will understand. Now let's say I'll just write over here. चलो, examples for section 142 cognizance of offense. अब ये section 142(2) आया ही क्यों? See, section 138 and section 142 they are related. नहीं सात्विक, दोनों पार्टीज को नहीं, सिर्फ ड्रॉवर को फाइन लगेगा. ड्रॉवर, इट इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ द ड्रॉवर. सी, लाइबिलिटी ऑफ द ड्रॉवर लिखा है, ओनली ड्रॉवर. नाउ सेक्शन 138 मेंशन द पेनल्टी प्रोविजंस कि आपको क्या फाइन लगेगा, बट हाँ इम्प्रिजनमेंट भी हो सकती है, लेकिन वेयर शुड बी ट्राई दैट ऑफेंस, कौन सा कोर्ट है जो ये ऑफेंस ट्राई कर सकता है, वो नहीं स्पेसिफाई किया था कि इफ मल्टीपल प्लेसेस आर इन्वॉल्व तो हम केस कहां पर फाइल करें, वो नहीं लिखा था. सो दैट क्लैरिटी वाज ब्रॉट अंडर सेक्शन 142(2). आपको समझेगा आफ्टर वी डिस्कस द एग्जांपल्स. नाउ लेट्स से दैट ए इज द ड्रॉवर ऑफ द चेक. ठीक है, ए इज द ड्रॉवर, ही ड्रू अ चेक इन फेवर ऑफ बी. ओके, बी इज द पेई. अब ए का अकाउंट है इन XYZ बैंक, फोर्ट ब्रांच, मुंबई. B is the account holder of PQR Bank, MG Road branch, Pune. But he deposited the check, okay, he deposited the check in PQR Bank, Nagpur branch, and the check is dishonored. Now there are three places involved: Mumbai, Pune, and Nagpur. Now, if the check is dishonored, the question arises, where should we file a case? There are three places. So, law has brought clarity through section 142. Law says that because you are depositing the check, it means it is an order check. Order means it is not bearer. Okay? It is not bearer. I have struck the word bearer. It means it is order. If it is an order check, then case will be filed where the payee's banker is situated. It means case will be filed in the court having jurisdiction where the MG Road branch Pune is situated. तो मतलब जो कोर्ट का ये बैंक के एरिया पे jurisdiction है, उस कोर्ट में हम केस फाइल करेंगे. Same example, but now I take the example of a bearer check. ठीक है, bearer check. B presented the check to XYZ बैंक नागपुर ब्रांच. बेरर चेक है तो आपको यही बैंक में उसको प्रेजेंट करना पड़ेगा, कोई भी ब्रांच चलेगा. तो B presented the check in Nagpur branch of the XYZ bank and the check is dishonored. Because it is a bearer check, law बोलता है that the case will be filed in the court having jurisdiction where the fourth branch Mumbai is situated. क्योंकि bearer है ना, आप XYZ बैंक के पास ही जाओगे तो इसका होम किधर है, होम ब्रांच किधर है, मुंबई में, उधर केस होगा. तो ऑर्डर चेक में केस विल बी फाइल्ड वेयर द पेईज बैंक इज सिचुएटेड एंड बेरर चेक में केस विल बी फाइल्ड वेयर द ड्रॉवर्स बैंक इज सिचुएटेड. ठीक है, ये ऑथेंटिक एग्जाम्पल है, यू कैन राइट इन द एग्जाम. Okay, now this is one very confusing part for students, इसीलिए ये डिस्कस करेंगे. Protection to the banker. Now, drawer drew a check. तो ड्रॉवर का बैंक है स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया. दिस इज द पेइंग बैंकर एंड पेई का जो बैंक होता है इट इज द कलेक्टिंग बैंक. नाउ let's say that X drew a check in favor of Y. Okay, I'll explain with example. Theory आप लोग बाद में पढ़ लेना. Guys, just to inform you, we are discussing the theory from my chart book and I'll just share the link of my website. You can go and purchase the chart book from there. We also have fast track lectures for November 22 batch. तो आप fast track lectures, Hindi, English, it is available in both languages. So visit my website for fast track lectures and chart book. Okay, so continuing with this, X drew a check in favor of Y. Y का जो प्यून है, on the back side of the check he wrote pay Pune and he forged Y's signature. Okay, Y's signatures are forged. Pune collected the money from X's banker. Now my question is, can we blame X's banker? Is the paying banker liable? बोलो, can we blame the paying banker? अरे तुझे देखना चाहिए था ना कि चेक पे फॉर्जरी हुई थी. How come you paid the money? बोलो, can we blame the paying banker in this case? अरे पेइंग बैंकर को कैसे पता वाई का क्या सिग्नेचर है? Paying banker checked the signature of X. He saw that X's signature is properly mentioned. He had the signature of the drawer. He didn't have the signature of Y. So here we cannot blame the paying banker if there is a forgery in the endorsements. हाँ, paying banker can be blamed if the drawer's signatures are forged. Okay, when the drawer's signature is forged, then the paying banker will not be protected. So you cannot blame the paying banker. नहीं, किसी की भी ड्यूटी नहीं है. कलेक्टिंग बैंकर कैसे देखेगा? वो तो ये देखेगा ना that the check is deposited by the प्यून. तो प्यून का अकाउंट बराबर है कि नहीं. एंडोर्समेंट्स उसने देखी किसको पता कि ये एंडोर्सर के सिग्नेचर्स क्या है? नोबडी विल बी ब्लेम्ड. हाँ, तो ड्रॉवर, we cannot blame the paying banker, but the drawer can try to recover the money because he is the true owner. He can recover the money from the peon. अच्छा, collecting banker में, अरे he is not responsible when he received the check of the customer in good faith. Collecting banker is not liable to the true owner. यहाँ पर हम peon के banker को भी blame नहीं कर सकते. Protection will be provided in case of defective title of the check. Now in this case the title was defective. क्यों? Because peon was not the owner. हाँ. But in this case collecting banker should have collected the check in due course. Due course क्या होता है? उसने बाकी सब कुछ चेक कर लिया. Okay, he checked everything. डेट बराबर है कि नहीं, ड्रॉवर के पास पैसे है कि नहीं, ड्रॉवर सिग्नेचर इज मैचिंग विद द स्पेसिमेन, दैट ही डिड. कलेक्टिंग बैंकर जो उसकी ड्यूटी थी वो उसने पूरी की, देन द कलेक्टिंग बैंकर इज नॉट टू बी ब्लेम. अच्छा, बेरर एंड पेई में क्या फर्क होता है? पेई इज द पर्सन who will receive the benefit and bearer is the person who holds the instrument. That is the difference. पेई मतलब कि उसको पैसे का बेनिफिट मिलेगा. हाँ, bearer is can be the payee. Now, liability of the paying banker, he will not be liable unless there is forgery of the drawer. Okay. Classification of negotiable instruments, it is payable to order, मतलब authorized person and bearer. My question to you is, मेरा question है, okay, this is my question to you. How can we negotiate a bearer instrument? Answer करो. Let's see who is the first one to answer. How can you negotiate a bearer instrument? And how will you negotiate an order instrument? वो भी लिखो. Yes, tell me. How will you negotiate a bearer instrument and how will you negotiate an order instrument? A bearer instrument can be negotiated by mere delivery, and an order instrument can be negotiated by endorsement as well as delivery. Okay? Now, how will you negotiate a bearer instrument? Bearer hai, I need not write anything, I need not even sign. So let's say this is a bearer check, okay? X has prepared a bearer check. Bearer words are not struck off. So pay, Y or bearer. Now X gave the instrument to Y. See, delivery is compulsory because negotiation is complete only upon delivery. So X gave the instrument to Y. Now Y can negotiate by giving it to Z, Z to A to B. You need not sign, you need not write anything on the instrument. But delivery is compulsory. And in case of order instrument, what is an order instrument? Order instrument means I have struck off the words bearer. As soon as I strike off the word bearer, it becomes an order instrument. So pay Y and I can write the word order. Pay Y or order. Now, if Y has to negotiate the instrument, on the back of the instrument, he will have to sign. Y will sign and he will write the name pay Z or order. So endorsement actually means signing the instrument and delivering it. So order instrument को negotiate करने के लिए I have to sign. Okay, I need to sign and deliver the instrument. लेकिन bearer में मेरे को sign करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. I just have to deliver and the ownership will be transferred. But in order instrument, I need to sign and then deliver. ठीक है? Okay. Then maturity date, you know how to calculate. Capacity. My question to you is, can a minor be a party to the negotiable instrument? Can a minor be a party? Is a negotiable instrument valid? Yes. Minor can be a party to the instrument. See, minor can draw the instrument. He can be drawer. Okay. He can be endorser. He can be endorsee. But he can't promise to pay. Like, he can draw a bill of exchange. He can be the payee. Okay, he can be payee. He can be payee. But he can't be the drawee in any case. He can't be the maker. He can't promise to make. He can't accept the instrument. मतलब उसको benefit मिल सकता है, but he can't promise to give. अच्छा, if the instrument is dishonored, all the other parties will be liable except the minor. So instrument will be binding on all the parties except the minor. ठीक है? ये केस बेस्ड क्वेश्चन के लिए आता है स्टूडेंट्स, केस बेस्ड क्वेश्चन. Check is not duly presented and the drawer is damaged thereby. Now, X drew a check on Y. Y didn't go and deposit the check. And the bank is bankrupt. Okay, X's bank is bankrupt. Can Y tell X, now you pay the money to me? Sorry, boss. We had given a check to you and we also had sufficient money in our bank. You didn't deposit the check and the bank became bankrupt. X is not liable. Why? You go and recover the money from the bank. I am discharged. Let's say X had to pay 1 lakh rupees to Y. He gave a check of 60,000. Y didn't deposit the check on time and the bank became bankrupt. X will be discharged to the extent of 60,000. Now he is liable only for 40,000. Okay. So drawer is discharged. Then we have holder in due course. What are the privileges of a holder in due course? Privileges क्या है? Even if the instrument is inchoate मतलब incomplete है, holder in due course को तो पूरे पैसे मिलेंगे. Now, X gave an instrument to Y and told him, यार तू fill कर दे, मेरे को पैसे नहीं, मेरे को amount नहीं याद. Actually, X had to pay only 15,000. लेकिन Y filled the instrument for 20,000 because it was sufficiently covered by the stamp. Y then gave the instrument to a holder in due course. My question is, will the holder in due course be able to claim 15,000 or 20,000? ये देखो हाँ, X ने एक incomplete instrument दिया था, एक blank instrument दिया था, but Y filled 20,000. Huh? He had to recover only 15,000. He filled 20,000 and negotiated the instrument. Now you tell me, Y is not the owner for 20,000, but will the holder in due course be able to recover full 20,000 or only 15,000? Very good, Kirtana. He will be able to recover entire 20,000 because holder in due course has a privilege. If the stamp is sufficient, he will get the full amount of the instrument. Very good. Holder in due course can sue all or any of the prior parties and recover. Fictitious I will discuss in some time. Instrument without consideration. Now, X gave an instrument to Y. There was no consideration. He negotiated the instrument to Z without consideration. Z to A for consideration. Yes, as soon as consideration comes into picture, we get the concept of a holder in due course. And he negotiates it to B for consideration. They will get to enjoy the benefit of holder in due course. They can sue all or any prior party. But, the parties where no consideration is involved cannot sue each other. They will not be able to file a case because there's no consideration. Once the instrument passes through the hands of a holder in due course, it is cured of all the defects. Further parties will get a good title. Now let us discuss fictitious name. Okay, fictitious. Pay attention, students. Here many generally face doubt. Pay attention to the example. X drew a bill of exchange in the fictitious name of Z and he made Y to accept it. Now, in case of a fictitious instrument, the drawer and the payee, sorry, X is not the drawer. In case of a fictitious instrument, the drawer and the payee are fictitious. But drawee is an actual person. Okay? Drawee, he is an actual person. Always remember this. Huh? So drawee is actual, others are fictitious. Now, X drew a bill of exchange in the fictitious name of Z and asked Y to accept it. Why accepted? दोस्ती यार, friend है वो मेरा. Then X, उसने तो drawer के नाम पे कुछ fake signature create किया. And X also created a signature of the endorser and endorsed the instrument to A. Now A is a genuine person. A negotiated it to B, B to C. On the due date, C presented the instrument to drawee. And drawee started laughing. Hurry! This is a fictitious instrument. Z does not exist only. Why should I pay? Can the drawee refuse to pay money to the holder in due course? That is my question. Can the drawee refuse and say, "Arey, this is a fictitious instrument, I am not liable"? Is it fictitious? No, in this case, drawee, you have accepted the instrument, you will have to pay for it. तुम फंस गए, तुम्हारी problem. If holder in due course can show, देखो हाँ, Z और drawer और payee का signature same है, same handwriting है. The way the E is written like this, see shading, the way O is written, it is the same handwriting. It means that drawer and payee, they are one and the same person. And why knew him? There is someone who has created this fictitious bill. There is someone who why knows. So in this case, holder in due course will become the owner. He will get the amount. Drawee cannot refuse. हाँ, you go and find X and recover it from him. But drawee, तू तो फंस गया भाई. तेरे को तो पे करना ही पड़ेगा. So as soon as the instrument reaches the hands of the holder in due course, it is cured of all the defects. One more example. X, by fraud, obtained the instrument from Y. Okay, he committed fraud and he obtained the instrument from Y. He then negotiated it to Z, Z to A to B, B again to X. Will X get the benefit of a holder in due course? Will X get the benefit of a holder in due course? See, he committed fraud. He is not the owner. But it reached X. It reached Z. Z is holder in due course. A and B, they are also holder in due course. हमने क्या पढ़ा? Once it crosses the hands of a holder in due course, it is cured of all the defects. So now when the instrument is negotiated back to X, will he become the holder in due course? No, because he himself is a पार्टी टू द फ्रॉड नहीं होगा. अच्छा, वेरिएशन ए नहीं, बी न्यू अबाउट द फ्रॉड. कोई बात नहीं, you had knowledge of the fraud, you will still get the benefit of holder in due course because you yourself were not a party to the fraud. Okay, knowledge hai chalega, but if you are a party to the fraud, you will not become a holder in due course. Okay students, then we have material alteration. amount change कर दिया, date change कर दी, टाइम चेंज कर दिया, प्लेस चेंज कर दी. सो दीज आर मटीरियल ऑल्ट्रेशंस. ओनली द पार्टीज हु गिव देयर कंसेंट टू द मटीरियल ऑल्ट्रेशन विल बी लायबल. जो कंसेंट नहीं देते, दे आर नॉट लायबल. सो मटीरियल ऑल्ट्रेशन मेक्स द इंस्ट्रूमेंट वॉइड. Parties who do not give their consent, they are not liable. अच्छा, एग्जाम में क्या आता है? एग्जाम में ये आता है मटीरियल ऑल्ट्रेशंस ऑथराइज्ड, नॉट ऑथराइज्ड बाय द एक्ट. yes, I agree Kirtana, that is if he knew about the fraud, that is not in good faith, but we cannot challenge the validity of the instrument. इंस्ट्रूमेंट तो वैलिड है ना, वो भले ही फ्रॉड से क्रिएट किया गया है, मुझे नॉलेज भी है, लेकिन इंस्ट्रूमेंट तो वैलिड है और वो गुड, और वो होल्डर इन ड्यू कोर्स के हाथ में से आया है. इसीलिए, बिकॉज मैंने तो फ्रॉड नहीं किया ना, मैंने फ्रॉड नहीं, ना मैंने हेल्प की, ना मैंने अबेटमेंट किया, हेल्प किया है, ना मैंने उसमें कुछ प्लानिंग किया, मैं तो इन्वॉल्व ही नहीं थी. फ्रॉड की डेफिनेशन में यही होता है ना, इट इज कमिटेड बाय द पार्टी टू द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट और विद हिज कनाइवेंस और बाय हिज एजेंट. ऐसा तो कुछ था ही नहीं, तो इसीलिए फ्रॉड मैंने तो नहीं किया ना, इसीलिए मैं एस्केप कर सकती हूँ. अच्छा, एंडोर्समेंट वाला ही एक पार्ट बाकी है, बट उससे भी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट ये है. ये मेनी स्टूडेंट्स गेट कंफ्यूज्ड इन दिस. सो सेक्शन 40 डिस्कस करेंगे बिकॉज इट इज कंफ्यूजिंग. अच्छा, नाउ बिफोर आई प्रोसीड, प्लीज एक बात याद रखना, हर पार्टी के लिए उसकी सब्सीक्वेंट पार्टी श्योरिटी होती है. विल यू रिमेंबर दिस? फॉर एवरी पार्टी टू द इंस्ट्रूमेंट, subsequent party is the surety. So if I am the principal debtor, मेरी subsequent party मेरी surety. अगर H की बात करें, if he is the debtor, I will be his surety. ठीक है, तो हर पार्टी के लिए उसकी subsequent party is a surety. अच्छा, जो अल्टीमेट है वो मैं मान लेती हूँ क्रेडिटर है. चलो, जो अल्टीमेटली उसके हाथ में आया, ही इज द क्रेडिटर. नाउ इंस्ट्रूमेंट नेगोशिएट हुआ फ्रॉम F टू G, G टू H, H टू I, I टू E. E विदाउट I's कंसेंट, मतलब विदाउट कंसेंट ऑफ द प्रीवियस पार्टी, cancels the negotiation of G and H. Okay, he cancels the negotiation of G and H. Now my question is I liable? Will I continue to be liable? Will I continue to be liable? Will I continue to be liable? लॉ बोलता है नो. सिंपल है, अगर तुमने डेटर को डिस्चार्ज कर दिया, ठीक है, अभी H will also be the debtor फॉर सब्सिक्वेंट पार्टी जो उसकी श्योरिटी है. अब क्रेडिटर ने G और H इनको डिस्चार्ज कर दिया ना, मतलब डेटर इज डिस्चार्ज, श्योरिटी इज ऑल्सो डिस्चार्ज. कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट. तो अगर G और H की एंडोर्समेंट आपने कैंसिल कर दी तो I इज ऑल्सो ऑटोमेटिकली डिस्चार्ज. देखो बहुत अच्छा है ना. E क्या बोलता है? दैट I can take against you, I can take action against you in case of dishonor, but you can't take action against G and H. अरे ये क्या बात हुई? E, you are taking action against I, but you're not allowing I to take action against G and H. You're impairing my remedy. Sorry boss, G and H are discharge, वो मेरे डेटर है, डेटर इज डिस्चार्ज, श्योरिटी इज ऑल्सो डिस्चार्ज. समझ में आया आपको लॉजिक? सो आई एम जस्ट क्लियरिंग दिस. इफ यू वांट यू कैन टेक अ स्क्रीनशॉट ऑफ दिस. ये एग्जाम्पल बहुत अच्छा है. द लास्ट पार्ट ऑफ टुडे, आज का लास्ट पार्ट, एंडोर्समेंट. अरे सिंपल है यार, एंडोर्समेंट आता है हमको. ब्लैंक एंडोर्समेंट मतलब नेम ऑफ एंडोर्सी इज नॉट रिटन, दिस मेक्स द इंस्ट्रूमेंट बेरर. फुल एंडोर्समेंट, स्पेशल एंडोर्समेंट मतलब मैंने एंडोर्सी का नाम लिखा है. रिस्ट्रिक्टिव मतलब आई एम सेइंग पे द मनी टू एंडोर्सी ओनली एंड नो अदर पर्सन, आई एम स्टॉपिंग फॉर द नेगोशिएबिलिटी. पार्शियल एंडोर्समेंट, हाँ ये चैप्टर बहुत बोरिंग है, वो तो है, बहुत टेक्निकल भी है, क्या करे लेकिन पढ़ना तो है ना. पार्शियल एंडोर्समेंट मतलब X endorse the instrument to Y and Z, not possible. Partial endorsement is valid because there are multiple actions which can be taken. हाँ ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, इस पे क्वेश्चन आते हैं. सैंस रिकोर्स, सैंस रिकोर्स मतलब क्या? नाउ A negotiated the instrument to B, B to C, सैंस रिकोर्स मतलब B is giving a clear instruction to the other parties. अगर इंस्ट्रूमेंट डिसऑनर हो गया तो प्रायर पार्टी, लेट्स से E कैन टेक एक्शन अगेंस्ट D, D कैन टेक एक्शन अगेंस्ट C, लेकिन C तू मेरे पास मत आना बिकॉज इट इज सैंस रिकोर्स एंडोर्समेंट. सैंस रिकोर्स मतलब इफ द इंस्ट्रूमेंट गेट्स डिसऑनर तो मेरे ऊपर केस मत फाइल करो, अपने रिस्क पे ले लो. सो इन केस ऑफ सैंस रिकोर्स वी कैन नॉट टेक एक्शन अगेंस्ट B, सैंस रिकोर्स है. अच्छा फैकल्टेटिव मतलब आई एम गिविंग अप माई राइट. नाउ अगर ये फैकल्टेटिव एंडोर्समेंट करता है, फैकल्टेटिव मतलब क्या कि ठीक है आई एम गिविंग अप माई राइट. अगर इंस्ट्रूमेंट डिसऑनर हो गया, सुनो अदर पार्टीज, तुमने अगर मेरे को नोटिस ऑफ डिसऑनर नहीं भी दिया ना तो चलेगा. आई नो यू ऑल आर वेरी टेंस्ड, डिसऑनर हो गया, तुम्हारे पास टाइम नहीं होगा. आई एम अ गुड हार्टेड पर्सन, आई एम काइंड हार्टेड. So here he is giving up his right to receive the notice. He is giving up some right in the contract. ये बस दयालु इंसान है वो. Without expense मतलब क्या? See आपने पढ़ा होगा ना noting charges. Noting charges. That if the bill is dishonored, endorser will have to bear the noting charges. इधर वो clearly बोल रहा है without expense में मैं endorsement यही शर्त पे कर रहा हूँ. I am endorsing on one condition that I will not bear the noting charges. If the instrument is dishonored, you can, I am a prior party, you can recover from me only the principal amount. I will not bear the noting charges. ये basis पे on this condition I am negotiating. So in case of without expense, you are giving an instruction to the other party. अगर मेरे पे केस हुआ, I will not bear the noting charges. मैं नहीं लूंगा. ठीक है? तो स्टूडेंट्स आज इतना ही करते हैं. नेगोशिएशन पैक पे जनरली क्वेश्चंस आर नॉट आसान, इट इज वेरी सिंपल ऑल्सो. मेन जितने भी कॉन्सेप्ट्स थे वो मैंने सारे आपके साथ रिवाइज कर लिए. तो टोटल एग्जाम ओरिएंटेड हमने रिविजन किया, एकदम एग्जाम ओरिएंटेड. फॉर लेक्चर्स एंड बुक्स विजिट माय वेबसाइट. चार्टबुक is the best way to revise, and if you want fast track lectures we have that on our website. Compiler is द क्वेश्चन बैंक, ये मैं नेक्स्ट टाइम करूंगी आपके साथ, आज टाइम थोड़ा एक्सीड हो गया अपना. आई हैव हाईलाइटेड 3 क्वेश्चंस, क्वेश्चन 2, 10 and 8, लेकिन मैं ये आपके साथ कल डिस्कस करूंगी तो हमारा थोड़ा रिविजन भी हो जाएगा. यस, विल डू इट एज अ रिविजन. दिस कंपाइलर, अ डिटेल्ड क्वेश्चन बैंक, इज ऑल्सो अवेलेबल ऑन माई वेबसाइट, सो यू कैन purchase the compiler. It's an exhaustive question bank with answers as expected by ICAI. ठीक है? अच्छा students, there is a small change. Tomorrow my revision lecture will be at 8 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock. ठीक है? तो tomorrow I'll post this also and I will schedule the revision lecture, but tomorrow the lecture will be at 8 o'clock. ठीक है? तो कल मिलेंगे 8 बजे. अच्छा कल क्या डिस्कस कर रहे हैं हम? जनरल क्लॉजेज एंड इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ स्टैट्यूट्स. उसमें बहुत दिक्कत आती है सबको, लेकिन कल के बाद आप बोलोगे मैम बहुत इजी चैप्टर है. सो बिफोर लीविंग डू गिव अ थम्स अप आज हमने बहुत अच्छी से रिविजन कर ली. In 1 hour we completed the entire act. So give a thumbs up before you leave and share this video with your friends and tell them कि कल हम general clauses and interpretation of statutes करने वाले हैं tomorrow 8 o'clock. Okay, bye bye guys, good night. I'll